What was the PM's message when it comes to racial harmony, and where does he see the challenges?
Well, good morning. Yeah, that really was a cornerstone of his speech last night. The Prime Minister delivered this sort of message throughout the pandemic. He's looking to rally, shared sacrifice among all these ethnic groups, and we can emerge stronger together. But last night it really came to a fore again in talking about the foreign workers. And it's important to remember that about 75% of the city-state's population is ethnic Chinese, but there's a strong Malay and Indian presence here and a substantial segment of foreign workers. So he did get into a bit of recent charges, especially through social media recently, that perhaps there's Chinese privilege, and then of course local workers, some pushing back on the government not making enough effort to allow local workers to get more employment during this troubling economic time. And so Lee once again pushed back on these incidents and charges and talked about, of course, as you cite, ways in which the government is looking at sort of relieving that effort, but also calling on all racial groups to kind of come together again in this moment and understand each other and move forward stronger together, as the tagline often is read.
So, Michelle, in terms of policy, what's the government looking at to try to resolve ethnic tensions in Singapore?
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, the government has tightened visa policies, even in the last year, raising the salary requirements twice to underscore that the foreign talent needs to be higher skilled. They're looking for quality, not quantity, as they say. And he said those Prime Minister Lee said last night that those worker visa policies further be tightened. He also noted that companies employing foreigners will now need to pay all of their local staff a qualifying salary of at least 1,400 Singapore dollars. It's a little bit over 1,000 U.S. dollars a month. And earlier that depended on how many foreign workers were employed at the firm, but no longer is that the rule. He also said that the Manpower Ministry is especially studying the plight of low-income delivery workers who have no employment contracts and benefits and have been especially overworked with everyone, delivering food during the pandemic. And he also underscored that this is an open city-state and it's competitive because of its openness and welcoming of foreign talent. So really trying to push back from the other side on that balance of, warning again that removing that labor would be detrimental to the local population.
And Singapore reached 80% full vaccination over the weekend. So why is that a significant milestone?
Right. Yeah. Well, health-wise, this is certainly a significant milestone. Not quite herd immunity, but a very high rate, nearly the world's best in terms of full vaccination. So really ensuring the population can truly treat COVID as an endemic and learn to live with the virus, which are messages that the government's been preaching for the past several months. We didn't get any concrete new loosening of restrictions last night, but the Prime Minister did point out that this means a tentative green light to move forward on loosening things around the domestic conditions here, but also, of course, for the borders to kind of crack open a little bit more and establish more travel. So in a little less than 2 weeks, we'll see those two-way travel lanes with Germany and Brunei open up. And from there, hopefully we'll see how Singapore is able to test the waters with reducing quarantines and allowing visitors from other countries to come in, which is, of course, highly anticipated.